it's Anya here. I'm back with another video for Ophelia Talks, and look at this super cute bag. I love it. So let's find out how to make it. So what do we need for this super cute bag? I have 4 acrylic balls here. So it's all Starcraft. This is mushroom, this is duck egg, this is a vintage peach, and this is buttermilk. I thought they went particularly well together. They're sort of the same shades almost. Well, not the same colours, but you know what I mean, the same sort of type of colours. And you need 4 strands together. So what I did is I got the middle out of each of them, and then I just pull them, and you pull them all at the same time. So we are going to start with making our slip knot. Now the challenge here will be to make sure that all your strands stay together. I am using a 6mm hook because you need to catch all your strands. So we're going to start with 4 chains. You can do a magic circle, but I'm just going to do this for now. Then go back through your first chain and pull it through. There we go. So make sure you're working in your hole there. And what you should be doing is taking this one along with you, because then you can close up the circle later on. Okay, so I chain up 2 for my double crochets, so I'm going to do that here as well. If you need to chain up 3, then please do go ahead and chain up 3. We are now going to do 11 double crochets into the circle, and you need 12 V's. So I found that after doing 11, you then do your slip stitch, and then you end up with 12 V's. So double crochet is yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that is what we are doing here. And like I said, it's quite a challenge to keep your wool together. So you need to sort of have your eye on your hook and see that you've always got those 4 colours. Sometimes you might miss one and you'll notice it straight away, and then you'll just have to redo, see, 4. You just have to redo that stitch, because otherwise you might end up with little loops in your work. So I am just going to continue doing this, and I'm going to count because I've been talking, and I will see you when you've done your 11 double crochets. Okay, so I now have done my 11 double crochets, and I've got my chain here. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. And I am going to do a slip stitch under that 11th one and create my 12th one. That way you don't have to do any skipping your stitches. So now I am going to chain up, and this I consider as being my last double crochet of the round. So let's just ignore that for now. We are not going to think about that even. So now we are going to do, in every stitch, we're going to do 2 double crochets. This is the bottom of the bag, so it needs to be flat. So we're going to be doing increases in every stitch. So I will see you at the end, just before you do that last one, because obviously we've got that chain there that we're ignoring at the moment, but we will have to take that into account when we get there. So 2 stitches, 2 double crochets in each stitch around. I have now made it to the last stitch. So in there we already have that chain, but of course that's our second double crochet. We consider that our second double crochet. So this is our first one that I've just done, then this is the chain, and I'm going to put my slip stitch onto there. There we go. Okay, so that now gives us 24 stitches. So we are now ready for our third round, and again we are going to chain up. I chain up 2, you might chain up 3. Let's disregard this one once again, and we are going to do increases, but not in every stitch this time. So in the first stitch we are doing 1 double crochet. In the next stitch we are doing 2 double crochets. There we go. And this is how we are going to continue. So the next stitch, 1 double crochet. In the next stitch, 2. And you should end up on this side, you know, the one that we've got here that we are disregarding. Well, this one here, the one before, should be a 1, and then this one should be a 2, and we've already got that chain in there. So I will meet you here at the end of the round. So I've now come to the end of my round. So I've done 2, 1, and then here the next stitch I have to do a 2, and already that chain is in there. So all I have to do is 1 double crochet, and then we go into this stitch here and we make a slip stitch. There we go. Okay, so now we are going to do the fourth round, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that is the bottom done. So that's quite quick. And also with working with 4 strands, it makes it quite dense as well. So a good way for this little bag. Right, so let's chain up. Again, disregard. So this time we are going to do a double crochet in the first stitch, a double crochet in the next stitch, and 2 double crochets in the next stitch. So that's our ratio. The ratio this time is 1, 1, 2, and that's how we are going to continue. And then at the end here, that needs to be a 2. So again, same thing as before. I'll meet you there. Okay, so I've made it to the end of the round, and I've done 2 here, 1, 1, and then this is the last stitch. So there's already that chain in there. So all I need to do is that last double crochet because it needs a 2 in there. And then I do my slip stitch under there. There we go. So now we have 48 stitches. Now I'm using DK 4 strands, and so at this moment the diameter of my circle here is 15 and a tiny bit or 6 inches. Okay, so that will give you an idea of how big this is. Now this is the outside, so that's the underside of our bag. So now we're going to start working on the sides. So hold your bag with the bottom bit towards you, okay, and then this is the inside away from you. And this time we are not going to do any more increases. We're just going to start the bubbles on the side. Now I am going to do this just in the stitch, okay, so I'm going to just pick up the 2 V's or 8 strands in this case, right? But you can, if you wanted to, just do back loop only in this row only, okay, because that will give you a nice definition to the side of your bag. I'm not going to do that because I just don't fancy it. I like the difference of you know, I like the line, but this time I'm not going to do it. So it's up to you if you want to do that. You will have a line, you know, but I'm not going to do that this time. So I'm going to chain up 2 for my stitch and then chain 1 for in between my stitches. So this I am going to disregard again. I'm going to skip 1 stitch here, and in this stitch here, we will sort out this later on. In this stitch here, I'm going to do 3 double crochets together. So that means let me just do one, and then I'll do one with you while I explain it to you. Right, so this is the 3 together. See, this is the stitch we are making, okay? And then you chain 1. So after you chain 1, you skip a stitch and you do another 3 double crochets together. So yarn over into the stitch. If you're doing back loop only, go into the back loop only. You yarn over and you pull through 2, and instead of finishing this stitch, you're going to start another one by yarning over into the same hole, pull up a loop and pull through 2, and look, there's a little one that didn't cooperate. And again, yarn over into that same hole, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. Yeah, so now you have 4 loops on your hook, and you pull through all 4. There we go, and you do a chain. So that is how we are going to go round, creating these little clusters of 3 double crochets together. So skip a stitch and do your 3 double crochets together. There we go. And I will see you at the end of the row. Don't forget to do your chain in between. I have now made it to the end of my round, and as you can see, I've done my last stitch here. This is one that I have to skip, and then this is the one where the next is going to go in, and of course we've got that chain here already. So this is what we are going to do. So I've done my chain there, so you go into that stitch where the chain is coming out of, and you are going to do 2 double crochets not finished, okay? Then you go into the second chain, you go in, you bring up your wool and you pull it through all the loops on your hook, and that then finishes off that chain, that stitch. But then you have to go into the top and do a slip stitch. There you go, to bring you to the end of that stitch, and that brings you to the place where you have to be. So from now on we are going to be working in between the clusters that we've just created. So let's do a chain up. So I do 2 chains, and then here I'm doing another 2 double crochets together. So there we go, okay, and a chain, and then from now on we're going into the holes each time, into the spaces in between. So let me just show you one more. So we are still doing 3 double crochets together and a chain 1 in every chain 1 space around, basically. Okay. So when you get to here, all you have to do is do your chain, slip stitch, and then do another slip stitch and get to this bit here to continue your rounds. I will meet you after you have done your 5 rounds. So you need to do 5 rounds of 3 double crochets together and 1 chain. So I have come to the end of my 5th row. So I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of 3 double crochets together and a chain. So I am now here in position where I need to be to get started for my next round. So I've done the slip stitch and 2 slip stitches to get where I am now. So we are going to start our round, and I'm going to do 1 chain. Then I am going to do a single crochet in that chain 1 space and another single crochet in that chain 1 space. Then I'm going to go to the next chain 1 space and I'm going to place 2 single crochets in there, and in the next one as well 2 single crochets. So you're going to go round all the way, putting 2 single crochets in every chain 1 space. I have now come to the end of my single crochet round. I have put 2 single crochets in every chain 1 space. I'm now going to do a slip stitch into that first one there, and if you count them you should have 48 stitches, and I did, and I have 48 stitches. So now we are going to decide where we are going to put our handles. I have here some scrap bits of wool. I've got this just so that I can use it for things like this. Different colour, so it's quite obvious. Now 48 divided by 2 is 24, so we should have 24 stitches on that side and 24 on this side. So I'm going to count 12 on this side, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So this is the 12th one. I use a thin hook for this, and I have some scraps of contrasting wool, so this is going to be the middle, okay? And then I'm going to count another 12 from this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So here I'm going to add another bit of scrap just so that I know where the middle is. Okay. And now I'm going to do 5 on either side of the middle. So this is my, yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, because that's number 5. So here I'm putting another bit of scrap. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and there. So I've just really divided my round in half, and then where the halves were, I'm put. Okay, so that's fine. That's okay. I'm putting 5 on either side of that, and that will be my handles. So 1, 2, 3, 4 in here. Yep. And then so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That one there, we don't need the middle one anymore. Okay, so that's that done. So now I am going to continue with my single crochet round. So we've done that, so we need to chain up, and I'm just going to do single crochet in the stitches around until we meet one of those markers. So just another, oh, where am I? There, that, so another couple of stitches here, and I will tell you what we are going to do with that. So here we are. So from this stitch we are going to chain 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then we are going to attach it there. So so you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So then you skip 10 stitches, and the 11th one, and that should be just after your marker, you do a single crochet. And look at that, you've created the handle. So the 1st and the 10th stay free, you don't use them, but those are the ones that you've put that marker in. There we go. So we are now going to continue until we meet the next marker, and that is our second handle, and you do that second handle the same way as we did the first one. So I will meet you after you've done the handle and you have continued with your single crochet to the end there. I have created my second handle here, and they are now nicely opposite each other like so, and I have here done all my single crochets. And so here we are going to skip, well, we need to do a slip stitch now, but I'm going to skip this chain and go under this one here, and then that closes it up quite nicely, and it sort of hides any, yeah, that's fine, see? Okay, so now we are going to do our last round, and that's again chaining up, doing a single crochet in every stitch, and then when we come to the handles, we are going to put 15 single crochets around the handles. So I will be there in a moment to show you how that is done. So here we are. Right, so you just go into the handle like that. Well, I don't mean in, I mean you work around it. Look, can you see? So just into the opening of the handle, that's what I mean. And I am not counting. I should be, but it doesn't matter if you do a few more. You want it nice and sturdy, so you might want to sort of scoot them over a little bit. So let's see how many I've done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I need to do, yeah, that should be okay. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, yes, and 15, and then we work into the stitches again. There we go. Voila, and look, we've created a nice handle to hold on to for when you're using the bag, and I think that's a good size because you can put your hand through it quite easily, but you can still put lots of stuff in your bag as well. So I will see you at the end of the round, so all you need to do is repeat this twice really. So I've done my second handle, I've done all my single crochets. All we need to do here is slip stitch and close up our round, and that is our bag made. So I'm going to cut it off. Woohoo! Yes! Cut off the yarn, and then we can do an invisible seal or an invisible stitch if you want to make sure that you work away these ends. All 4 maybe. Yep. See, there we go. And then we pull that in there, and then we sew it in. Now if you have maybe not worked this so nicely as you want to, you could put some flowers or some decoration on there as well. So I am going to do that, I think. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!